Honestly, as at this point, if Black Americans say they are done with every single thing, I will literally not blame them. If they said they are done with protesting, they are done with standing out for people. In fact, if they say they are done with America as a whole, I honestly will not blame them because, yes, let it make sense to me that Black Americans will only be the one to show up whenever there are issues. They'll only be the one to stand. They'll only be the one to support. But whenever it is their turn, nobody's coming to support. Nobody's coming to show face. Nobody's coming to be like, okay, these people that have literally stood for me, I'm also going to stand for this person. So if they say they are done, and I'm not going to blame them for that. In fact, I'm even going to support them for them to say, yes, they are literally done because these people have been through a lot that people are supposed to come through for them. But no, nobody is coming through. Everybody just wants to benefit. Everybody just wants to look out for fingers to point on Black Americans. Is it starting from the America itself, white folks, or to the immigrants and so on and so forth? It's just a whole lot that Black people are just dealing with. And I wonder why it must be rubbed on Black Americans. So you see Latinos now going out for protests or something. They want Blacks to be involved. And if Blacks are not there, you keep asking questions like, why are they not there? You see white folks want to do this. They want Blacks to be involved. And I really do not get. For how long will they keep in fact, they are done showing up. And if they say they are done, it's streets. It is good. In fact, if they say they want to be staying in their house and be starving, no problem. I truly support that. But anyways, welcome back to the channel. It's Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. And with that being said, let's dive right into this video, and I'll be back with commentaries. Let's watch this video, guys.
Child, I talked about asking the right questions, but let's flip that question. Everybody want to know where the Black folks at. Why y'all so quiet? A party ain't a party until we show up. But baby, we're not showing up to this party. So let's flip that question. Child, let's talk about what it would look like if they showed up the way we've always shown up. What would it look like if they organized before the crisis? If they made the calls, built the coalitions, hit the streets, created mutual aid funds, the way Black folks have every single time this country falls apart. Because, see, we've been the backbone, the moral compass, the foot soldiers, the fundraisers, the prayers, the planners, while getting the least credit and the most criticism. So let me ask that question again. What would it look like if white folks took that same energy we've had for centuries and used it for liberation that wasn't centered around their comfort? Would they show up when it's not trending? Would they fight when there are no cameras, no hashtags, no applause? Would they stand beside us, not in front, not behind, but beside us? Because what happened to the Purple Revolution? Quiet as it's kept, I ain't heard nothing. See, Black folks, we're not absent. We're just choosing rest as resistance. We're watching. We're observing. And this time, we're seeing who's really about that life when Black folks ain't carrying the weight. So, white folks, if you're really serious about change, don't ask where we are. Ask where you are. Because, baby, we've been out there. And honestly, we're just waiting to see if you'll meet us where we've always been, doing the work. White folks, y'all stay safe out there. Good luck with the Purple Revolution. Now, Black folks, drink your water. Stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable. And mind your Black business. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you next time.
So while we're talking about Black Americans being key players in this game, y'all, let's talk about also now we have other people, okay? POCs, okay? And the Black immigrant community and their kids and their kids, okay? That want to talk about unity with Black Americans, and Black Americans need to come together to fight the system, okay? Let me tell y'all where they got Black Americans fucked up at. So, Black Americans, as we have been talking about, we've been talking about strategy and how a lot of people underestimated how intelligent we are and how we analyze things and how we view things, right? When we're structuring our plays, right? When we're structuring our moves in this crazy ass game that's going on right now. So, one, how many of y'all seen the movie, y'all seen the series Squid Game? I know it's hot. A lot of y'all seen it, right? Squid Games, okay? I feel like we are the main character in that series when he went back into the game, right? To try to stop the game because he believed that people overall were good people. I believe that that was Black Americans. Black Americans overall believed that people were good people, right? And that people ultimately will want to do the right thing. And the guy, right, the game master dude had basically implemented a vote, okay? And they could decide if they wanted to keep playing or not. They get in the game, they see people dying and everything, but because the money is going in that little ball, right? And they're seeing the money growing as various different players are knocked off, right? They wanted to keep playing. No matter how many times he kept trying to tell them, hey, I've played these games before. Stop playing. Vote no. Vote to end it. We're all gonna die. Okay? And they were like, just one more game. Just one more game. That's how POCs and black immigrants are. Okay? And they kids. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I include all of them in that group. When they seen that other communities would be disenfranchised, but that still would benefit them, they would get more jobs, they would get more scholarships, they would get better housing, they would get a pat on the head and get to be a model minority and shit. They wanted to keep playing the game. As long as everybody else died and not them, they wanted to keep playing for that money. And then once shit started getting real, they thought we was going to go out like that main character, where the main character decides to go ahead and sacrifice himself for the baby, right? Without them realizing that they aren't fucking babies. Y'all grown-ass individuals who knew exactly what was going on here, knew that people were being harmed, knew that people were being oppressed. Y'all came to America, y'all figured out what the racial caste system was, and y'all assimilated into it. Every single one of y'all decided that y'all was going to assimilate with the oppressor and join in on knocking down the oppressed. But now that it's your life flashing before your eyes, you now want to stop playing the game. You can't. Okay? We in there now. You got to play it all the way through. And black Americans are throwing everybody for a loop because now we are playing the game for solo dolo and only concerned about us surviving and making it through this shit. And we ain't even playing for money. We just playing straight off of survival because we are not going out like that. But when folk come and they want to have the conversations about unity, oh, let's come together, the system is oppressing all of us. Why the fuck would we want to align ourselves with people who, every time we say something to them, y'all get out of jail victim card is, well, America destabilized my country. America colonized my country. America stole my resources. Then y'all should have came here from the get-go on some wartime, not oppressing the people that America oppressed. Y'all mission from the get-go should have been to destabilize the power structure. If y'all really was about y'all business and that's really what the fuck happened. Because these people cannot get black Americans on board with a whole bunch of shit because we know they destabilized our country. Okay? We know they destabilized our community. We know they destabilized our people, massacred our people, lynched our people, held our people back, refused us equity, and had us in Jim Crow and segregation as well as slavery. They can't get us to play ball on a goddamn thing. And this is partially why they make it a point to consistently keep us down anyways, because we're quite dangerous, because we are literally refusing to be brainwashed and we are literally refusing to assimilate. But y'all got the nerve to come and say we're just like white people when y'all came here and started acting just like white people. Y'all didn't care about right versus wrong, about human decency or anything. Y'all cared about being in proximity to power. Y'all cared about greed, money, the things that you could take, the things that you could give, the things that you could receive. Okay? You didn't stand on business for your people and you didn't stand on business for your country. You stood on business for yourself so that you could have big, nice houses and that you could have fancy cars and that your family back home could receive the money you were sending them to build big, nice houses too. And ignored the fact that your countries are still, outside of those really nice cities, in shambles. So why would we want to come together with in unity with people who showed us they ain't got no fucking morals and they ain't got no fucking dignity? Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to align ourselves with people who showed us that if given the opportunity to be the oppressor, that's exactly what they would be? If given the opportunity to shit on another group of people, that's exactly what they would do. So what do y'all think we're supposed to do? Come help y'all live to fight another day so that you can go back to what? Throwing Black Americans under the bus and shitting on us and throwing stereotypes at us? I think not. Y'all already had your time and your chance and your opportunity. We tried to be out for everybody. Y'all said fuck us and showed that y'all was only out for yourselves. Okay? So in this game of Hunger Games, may the odds be ever in your favor. Have a good day.
This is an excellent point. I listened to part of Mamdani's victory speech. I didn't hear all of it, but I did hear the part where he stated that New York City was built by immigrants. I beg to differ. Immigrants helped, but New York City, as well as this country, was built by Black Americans, especially our enslaved ancestors. And specifically regarding New York City, again, you all need to look up Seneca Village, which was a vibrant, thriving Black community that the city destroyed in order to build what is now known as Central Park. Everyone tries to discredit and erase the contributions of Black Americans who are descended from enslaved Africans and how our ancestors built this nation. Bottom line, the White House, where the East Wing is being demolished so that the felon in chief can have his gilded ballroom that we all need, was built by enslaved people. And so here's this narrative about immigrants. Again, you all, Black Americans, we must stand together collectively and use our voice. And by using our voice, I mean by speaking with our dollars and economic power to make sure that we get what we want and that our contributions in this country are not erased.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting a little offended by these people that think they're warning Black Americans that if we don't get in on a protest, that they coming for us next. I think we told you that they were coming for you next. I think that's how that thing worked. I think we told you that they were coming for you next. You talking to a people that don't even have their own last names right now. And you think you warning us of what? This is the disrespect for my ancestors. You think you talking to somebody about what? When my people have been enslaved in this country for 400 years and have gone through hell and back for freedom, and you think you warning us of what? No, we're warning you. That's the issue for me, that you're speaking as if you telling us something. No, we told you. We've been doing this. We've been in these streets getting bit by dogs, houses set on fire, you know what I'm saying? Incarcerated, mass incarcerated, for stop and frisk. We've been on that. Y'all, this is new for you. This is new for you. And it matters to you now because it matters to you now. So that's the first thing. The disrespect, talking to us like if this don't... many people wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for Black Americans because, as we know, they had to make an amendment for birthright. So that's the first thing. There needs to be a conversation about respect here. But, you know, I love all my Latino brothers and sisters, Asian, everybody. But what y'all not going to do is talk to us like you warning us. No, we the blueprint. We warned you.
That comment was left on a video that I did yesterday about Elon Musk encouraging Donald Trump to pardon Derek Chauvin, the police officer who was held primarily responsible for the murder of George Floyd in the spring of 2020. which gave rise to the Black Lives Matter protests during that summer. That sentiment was then echoed by Ben Shapiro on his show. And I made a video, admittedly, from the perspective of a white guy who's a lawyer. And my perspective was Derek Chauvin was convicted, the most serious charges that landed him in prison for the rest of his life. He was convicted on state charges in a state court, and a president can't pardon somebody for state charges. He can only pardon on federal charges. There were some follow-up federal charges for violating civil rights and things like that, and Trump could pardon Derek Chauvin on those. But being that I'm a white guy, and I came at that from the perspective of a white guy who's a lawyer, I woke up this morning to a lot of comments on that video from Black Americans. And the one thing that I did not think of is that this talk of pardoning Derek Chauvin is bait to get black people out into the streets, to be confronted by police officers who Donald Trump thinks should have immunity, and so that Donald Trump and these police officers can beat and kill black people in the streets. And Donald Trump can point at that and say, look at this, I don't have any other choice but to impose martial law nationwide. Admittedly, my perspective in that video was limited to my particular life experience. It did not dawn on me when I made that video. I got a lot of comments like this, and I saw a video from Tabitha this morning. Tabitha Speaks Politics. If you're not following her, you really should be. And she said it explicitly. She's like, this is bait to get black people out into the streets. And I hadn't thought of that. I hadn't thought of that. But I think it's entirely accurate. I think it's absolutely entirely accurate. I think Donald Trump is confused 6 weeks into his presidency that there haven't been mass nationwide protests every day, people in the streets protesting against him and what he's doing. And I think this talk of pardoning Derek Chauvin is a way to light a fire under certain communities in the United States to get them out into the streets so that Donald Trump can turn loose police officers, National Guard troops, the United States military on American soil as a way to get to a point where he can declare martial law in the United States. So thank you for that comment. Thank you, Tabitha, for your video. And this is, again, it's like, this is one of the reasons why I love TikTok. Because people with different identities than mine and different backgrounds than mine bring different perspectives to circumstances that don't necessarily dawn on me right out of the gate. Because, it's just like, I'm just a dumb white guy who grew up in very segregated circumstances in Ohio, So I appreciate your comment and everybody's input on that, but I think you're absolutely 100% correct.
Last night, Zoran Mandami's had his victory speech, and he made some Black Americans cringe because he was talking about how New York was built by immigrants. Hold on, let me show you.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
So there were some Black Americans that took offense to this because, Black Americans are routinely left out of the conversation when it comes to building America. And a lot of people, especially people who are immigrants and who are in the political sphere, Obama has done it before, talk about how
this country was built on immigrants, and immigrants are the ones who built this country, when Black Americans are not immigrants. It's like they always are either taking us for granted or just conveniently leaving us out. So I understand that, and I feel that same way. Although with this speech, I didn't really get that. I listened to the whole speech, and while I understand the sentiment of my fellow Black Americans, I also understand what Zoran was trying to say. And before that, in the speech, he had said that he wanted to make a New York the city that could be affordable to all the Black American women who had, well, he didn't say Black American, he just said Black women, but, you know, Black with a capital B, that have been let go from federal jobs by Trump. And he also said this.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
He said, turn the volume up, which I have to think that he was referencing KRS-One, great Black American rapper from the 80s and 90s. So he said, turn the volume up, the devil's time is up. So I gotta think he was referencing that. And he also used hip hop a lot during the campaign. Remember when he went to the Wu-Tang concert and spoke to the Wu and, you know, Jadakiss and Styles P and Killer Mike? Like, he used Black American culture as a way to forward his campaign throughout the entire campaigns. I understand why people might be reluctant to take him on. I'm gonna be watching from New Jersey and hoping for the best.
Apparently Black America is in a mood to protest, so I have composed a short list of things that we can protest whenever y'all are ready. Sexy Red. Let me know when y'all are ready to protest Sexy Red. BBLs. We could protest BBLs. We could protest drill music. We could protest our boys wearing pooch icy masks in 90-degree weather. We could protest our babies knowing TikTok dances before they can identify their letters. We could definitely protest that. We could protest those THC vapes being sold to our children, vapes in general that are being sold to our young people. Let me know when y'all ready to protest that. We could protest tension alopecia and everything that's causing it. We could protest little boys twerking. Let me know when y'all ready for that. We could protest 14, 15, 16-year-old girls walking around looking like 35-year-old grown women in wigs, lashes, and a full face of makeup. Let me know when y'all ready for that. We can protest these mothers selling their food stamps to buy weed, just to then be in somebody's Facebook inbox begging for money. We can protest Takis. I don't trust Takis. I ain't never tasted a Taki in my life with something in them. We can protest women without life insurance getting BBLs. Could definitely protest that. As a matter of fact, we can protest parents in general not having life insurance. What's that about? We can protest living in Section 8 housing and getting a BBL. What's that about? Where are our priorities? We can protest Zeus Network entirely. The whole thing, Natalie Nunn, Lemmy, all of it. We can protest our kids having a higher rap IQ than they have a literacy score. Y'all let me know when y'all ready to protest that. We can protest the phrase YN. Who invented that? Who coined that phrase? And why are y'all owning it? Like it's something to be proud of. We can protest that. We can protest the outsourcing of call centers to Pakistan because those are jobs. Call center jobs used to be our go-to, and we've lost those. So let me know when y'all ready to protest that. We can protest mothers whose children don't have a college fund, but they want to get a BBL. We can protest every last Tyler Perry film, all of them. Okay? We can protest our boys wearing wigs and gowns to prom because who gonna be the men? That's what I want to know. We can protest every single Black drama series that's centered around crime and violence. All of them. Y'all let me know when y'all ready. We can protest that white line that the barber puts after their haircut, especially on dark-skinned Black men. It just messes it up. Who decided to do that? We could protest that and them unnecessary fibers and spraying all of that. Let's protest all of that. Let's bring back a fine man in a natural haircut, low cut Caesar with the deep waves. What happened to that? We can protest studs being better fathers than the men who actually make the babies. Let me know when y'all ready. We can protest whoever is still selling crack. Whoever's responsible for still selling crack. I see dope things all the time. So whoever's selling them their drugs, we can protest them. We can protest women who have multiple absent baby fathers, because at what point does your discernment kick in? When do we learn our lesson? We can protest every black drama series that's centered around sex and deception. And that probably will be covered under Tyler Perry Studios as well. So y'all let me know when you're ready to get to protesting. Let me know when we're going to hit them streets.
So now that the tidal wave from Tuesday's blue wave on election night is slowly starting to recede, I did want to say that I'm of the belief that Black Americans, Black liberals, our decision to sit out and not engage in every single protest was one of the best things that our community could have done for democracy this time around, because we decided to not make every single protest our protest, and in stopping or preventing ourselves from being the face of it, as you know, much of the media coverage was not on black voters or blackness or perceived black hostility as a result of a faulty media narrative. And it really allowed us to do some healing and self-reflection. But more importantly, it prevented us from being the face of all of the major controversies. And unfortunately, in a country that has had such a complicated history with, blackness, American blackness being sort of like, if you voted a certain way, you were voting for the black man, you were voting for the colored, you were voting for the Negro, you were an in-lover. And I'm so sorry, but that's just the truth. And I do think that because we allowed for other very problematic systemic forces to reveal themselves, claimed our autonomy, did some self-preservation in the form of like damage control for our image, and then also made the Democratic Party and our allies come to reach the reckoning of not taking black support for granted. And it allowed us to also do some healing, and we engaged in discourse on other conversations, for instance, as to like how Black Americans as descendants of chattel slavery would like to be perceived, and what Black Americanness is, and who our real allies are. And not that it was even damage control as a result of our own doing. It was usually more of like a disassociation from outside forces wanting to claim allyship or unity in the name of an issue or under a concept or notion or a fight for a right that is not our fight, or not of one that you have more at stake than we do, or we did, or we ever did. And so I do think that decision to sit out and sort of like contain sort of like our outrage to our POVs on TikTok, or just sort of like, protesting in less demonstrative ways, was perhaps one of our greatest acts of protest this time around. The primary perceived threat to American whiteness and stability in the form of, they're coming to your schools, and they're going to, they're coming to suburbia and all of that. American blackness is still very much dealing with the holdovers from an era in which other people who are equally, if not more, impacted by the disastrous results of this administration, we let their stories, their voices, their POVs take center stage. It allowed other people to really, stop broad brushing every single critical humanitarian issue as a Black American issue. And I do think that in part contributed to such a major election success for the Democrats.
What up, black folks? You know what? Man, it's been a rough week for white folks. I just saw a video in Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati, where a fight broke out. Not sure what happened. Did see a white guy try to sneak punch this black gentleman. Once he did that, like all hell broke loose. I mean, everybody was fighting in. And I ain't sure who started it, because I ain't one to start rumors. Not me. But they got living shit beat out of them out there, man. The white folks, black folks and white folks just fighting, man. And you know what, man? That's a sign of these times, man, especially for black folks. I've been saying it. Black folks are done with the bullshit. Black folks are done with the bullshit. We saw this shit in 2024. The covers have been pulled off America. We know exactly who you motherfuckers are. And we not standing for the bullshit. So if you come out with that racist bullshit, you better keep it to yourself. Because if you put your hands on somebody, you're going to find out it ain't what you think it is. That privilege is not going to save you from the ass whooping. And you can ask them people in Cincinnati about that. Peace.
Anyways, welcome back, guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed that particular clip. Honestly, Black Americans have literally been showing up for a lot of people. Yeah, they have literally been showing up for even unappreciative immigrants. And you see a lot of videos where immigrants will literally tell you that the only people that has really helped them, if not for Black Americans, I would have died. If not for Black Americans, I would have not. If not for the same immigrants will still come and talk about Black American in another way that whenever you see that particular video, you'll be like, is all of this that you're doing, is it for eye service or something? When it comes to white folks, yes, Black Americans are always the one that they actually want them to pull out. Oh, why didn't they show up in the King protest? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do that? Are they not supposed to come up? Are they not supposed to do this? Are they not supposed to do that? Forgetting that at the end of the day, these same people that you always want them to show up for you, how many times have you been showing up for them? How many times have you been speaking on behalf of them? Yes, I know that there are some white folks that have literally been speaking on behalf of the blacks, and I really, really do appreciate those white folks, and that is why if I see their videos, like, I don't hesitate than bringing their videos, because they have done so well for the Black community, talking about how the Black community started east, west, north, and south, and I really do appreciate that. But for those ones that at the end of the day, they are so greedy, they've never done anything for Black people, but they want Black people, especially Black Americans, to show out for them in full time. They are done. You cannot keep playing someone for a fool and just assume that that is how it's going to be forever. A time will come, this person will literally wake up. And the moment these persons wake up, it becomes another thing on your own end. That is what a lot of people don't know. You want me to always come through for you as my friend. How many times have you literally come through for me as a friend? You know, this ownership mentality, it has eaten up to a lot of people's sense, in the sense that if they don't see Black Americans somewhere, like they're not comfortable, they always want to say, okay, let's take, for example, the King protest, the No King protest that just went up, where you literally see a lot of people asking questions like, why are Black Americans not showing up? Why are Black Americans, like I keep asking, like, why must they show up? Like, why? Why must Black Americans show up for you to know that, yes, people actually showed up? The people that are there that you're seeing, are they not human beings? Are they popcorns? To the point, someone actually pointed out, some journalists pointed out that Black Americans, they were trying to take pictures to ensure that they are seen in the pictures, but they never saw them. Like, why do you need to see them? Why must they show in your picture? Like, why? Why must it be Black Americans? What happened to other people? Why can't other people show up? Must it be Black people that will show up? I don't know how people think, or how people just assume that Black Americans are just robots that can just be controlled east, west, north, and south. If they want them here, they go. If they want them there, then go. Sometimes you have to say enough is enough. And as at this point, if Black people are saying enough is enough, I support them 100%. Like, in fact, I will even support them more and say, can we put more enough is enough, so that a lot of people can actually know that, yes, Black people are no longer those people that you think that they are. Now, yes, they can now talk. They can now see what is happening, that you never got their back. So why do they need to get your back? It's just a whole lot. And I feel like people should stop getting this ownership mentality of they should, they must, is a must. If they choose to come out, fine. If they choose not to, if they choose to stay for their own peace of mind, so be it. Because even me, as at this point, I have chosen my peace of mind over everything. Anything that will not give me peace of mind, I am not in the game. The only thing I'm game in right now is my peace of mind. That is the most important thing to me. Do you get? So if they say they are done, and I really, really do support them. Yeah. There is not a must that they should come out everywhere. You people can also do the same thing. You people can also fight your battles. So why not? Go ahead, fight your battles. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Credit belongs to original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And guys, yes, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys from the depth of my heart. Mwah.